What's up, Know Your Books family? We're back again with another off-topic episode, off-topic episode 5. We're gonna pick up where we left off on episode 3, where we're talking about making reading a habit. If you are making reading a habit right now, if you've been following our schedule, make sure to comment down below how it's working for you. Is it working for you? Have you made any changes? Did you get any feedback in the meantime? And also making sure that you stick to your routine. As you might recall, we left some space for some keynotes, and that's where we're gonna pick up from today. We're basically gonna talk about how I make notes and how I think you guys can make sure to maximize your understanding of the pages, remember more, and also implement more effectively. And the most important part is that you should remember that it doesn't matter how much you remember about a book, but how much you remember that it's actually relevant and that you can actually implement in your life. That's the most important part, and that's what we're gonna focus on today, okay? Because I'm actually making a lot of notes for the reviews. Some of the notes that I make are not particularly relevant for me, but that's because I have to do the review for the book. I take some of the key lesson and put it in a separate area where I can take these lessons and then implement them in my life. As I say, your key lessons are not my key lessons. We all are different people, and of course you have different things that resonate with you. So remember that it is about you and not about other people. So without further ado, let's get into this knowledge. Please remember that it isn't about summarizing the text, okay? The key point of actually making notes is make sure that you take what's relevant for you and not all of the text, because you're not going to remember all of the text, so don't summarize it. Only take things that resonate with you or that you can really implement in your daily routine or daily activity, or the things that you can implement right now. All right? And it doesn't matter how you make your notes, because your notes are for you and not for everyone else. So if you understand it, if you can make sense of it, that's the most important thing. So let's get into step 1. Step 1 is to make sure that you read those 10 and 20 pages every day, or you read a chapter from a book that you want to read. If you have a problem picking a book, to check our reviews on this YouTube channel or on our YouTube channel, then you can choose which book sounds good for you, all right? Because that's how we basically structure our reviews, that we can tell you if the book is really for you or not, and then you can make your own decision. Step 2 is we're gonna ask ourselves some key questions about the things that we are reading on the pages, okay? So the first question is, what are the key lessons for me in this chapter or in these 10 to 20 pages? What is the key lesson for me in this chapter? And I want you to write down, so if you haven't taken your notebook yet, pause this video and take your notebook and write down, what are the key lessons for me for this particular page or these pages or this chapter? That's the most important thing. That's the most important question that you have to ask yourself. What are the key lessons for me? What is relevant for me in this particular page, pages, or chapter? Then we go into question 2. What is the benefit for me to actually implement these key lessons in my daily life or in my life? And you can write down what they'll do for you. This will psychologically give you a boost, because you're gonna say, okay, if I implement in this life, this is gonna be my potential outcome. That doesn't mean it will be your outcome, but it will be your potential outcome. And having that, basically that result-oriented mindset can basically push you to implement it even faster, and also get like a sort of feedback loop for yourself. And that's when we go into our third question. So the third question, we're really gonna go into practicality, which is how exactly can I implement this particular key lesson in my life? And be very specific. What is your first step, second step, third step? How are you gonna measure your success? So that's where you need those benefits or those key benefits from, because that potential outcome you can use to say, okay, this is how I will measure how I'm implementing it in my life or how I'm doing. So this is a very important key question where you can be as specific as possible, add some key components to the lessons that the authors give in this book to make sure that you think for yourself. Because I truly believe that you have to be skeptical, you have to ask questions. And these are questions that I always ask myself, these 3 questions, and sometimes even more. How am I able to implement this in my life? Is it even realistic to implement this in my life? And what will be the potential outcome according to the author, okay? These are important questions that you can ask yourself to make sure that you have a key, that you have an objective view, all right? And be skeptical and be curious and ask questions. And that's what reading is all about, is also to think for yourself and not only take everything that you read as truth. After all the steps, this is the beginning of where you start implementing. okay? And making sure that you follow through on the steps that you put in your third question, or the answers that you put in your third question. And this is going to be an essential part of your journey, because what you can do exactly is start creating a feedback loop. All right. So, for example, if you wanted to make sure, if the author says, don't criticize, condemn, or complain, which is principle 1 from How to Win Friends and Influence People, if you're gonna implement that in your life, how did you experience your implementation? Okay, how is it going? What went wrong? What could be done better the next time? And this feedback loop will help you to actually make changes and have purposeful practice. All right, and that's the most important thing when becoming better, is that you understand where you can become better and where it's actually going right. Okay, and this is a very important aspect of actually learning and implementing. It's a slow process, but eventually when you make those steps, it will be a lot more fruitful than just reading and that's it. All right, and it's okay to be nervous and it's okay to fail. First, you have to read. You write down the key lessons, okay? You start implementing, you start making an action plan, and then you start implementing, and then you put in what you could have done better next time, or what is going right, how do you feel, and all of these essential questions that you can ask yourself in your feedback loop. So if you have checked our video on how to make reading a habit, then probably you've already made your schedule, or if you haven't made your schedule, please make sure you do follow through on those 10 to 20 pages and make sure you can get that reading in every day. Okay, but if you're having trouble, we've actually created a private Facebook group for people to join so we can provide incentives to boost your motivation to start reading those 10 and 20 pages, because we can give you tips, we can start boosting your motivation and to start reading more, and you can learn from other people who are reading other books. Okay, so if you're interested in that, make sure to DM us on Instagram and ask if you could join the private Facebook group where we can help you personally, and also you can help others as well, and others can help you on their journey to make reading a habit. It's completely free for now, so make sure to join in right now, because these are the moments that are essential where you can make reading a habit and also get stimulated by other people, be curious, and ask questions. That was it for today. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. Okay, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an avid Instagrammer, follow us at Know Your Books. You know what it is. All right. Thanks for watching. And if you're here, then you should probably know your books.